In most, if not all single-player games, people generally have access to a camera that they can move around with. With Wizard101, there isn't such luck. The only people who have access to these cameras are the developers, hackers, and the FBI probably. Now, because I am a good-natured boy who has never hacked in a multiplayer game besides Roblox with Cheat Engine when he was a kid, any methods to see beyond out of bounds won't be considered as breaking the game's privacy and terms of service. You might go, Hunter, there are programs out there that allow you access with a free-flowing camera. Trust me, I would like to use it as much as the next guy, but I don't want to get you or me in trouble. So you might ask, if you aren't going to use that, then how will you see or go out of bounds with the camera? Well, we have two options. One which fully utilizes a mechanic in the game known as photomancy. I don't know one person who uses it though to edit their photos or would want to edit in the first place, but it allows us to bypass certain walls or objects with the built-in camera. Two is the ability to change camera angles using quest dialogue pop-ups. I just happened to come across this in a Reddit post and remembered some quests in the game actually have dynamic camera angles, which gives the impression of it looking like a B-rated horror movie cutscene when a jump scare is about to happen. To do this, you'll need a friend who can skip through the dungeon's dialogue for you and some patience when you manage to use this. The reason why is because if you're the one who picks up the dialogue, the pop-ups won't appear for you. Interacting or clicking on the pop-ups for the specific quests will allow a shift in the camera angles. Now you might ask, why is this important? Because those pop-ups will stay with you even if you leave the dungeon and go elsewhere. Essentially, what we're doing is storing the camera ability to use it anywhere we want. There are some drawbacks to this, such as not being able to adjust the camera since it is in a fixed location. Second, for you to keep the pop-up from disappearing after you click it, you have to enter a loading screen, such as teleporting to somebody or going through a door. Third, we are good boys and girls that don't cheat, so this is the best that we've got. Now of course, if you find anything in the game, be sure to share it down below, but otherwise, here are just a few things I found that I thought were interesting. The first area I checked was the Wizard City Library, because it reminds me a lot of Hogwarts, but also because there was a ton of movement going on in there. One of the things I found in there was these two circles, one with a water texture and the other seems to be a glory hole with cobwebs and dust over it. If we zoom out a little farther, you'll notice some stars on the ground. These appear to be related to the sconces we see in the library. The stars below them emit the particles or the light you see on the sconces. As for the red speck of shit, it's probably for the few books moving around in the air. The water texture is probably for the mini ponds around the main desk. As for the glory hole, I don't really know. Maybe it's supposed to summon dementors or something. In Ravenwood, you'll also see these stars in all of the 7 schools near their professors. For the most part, they all look the same in each building except for the fire school. The fire school has the one red ball which emits steam, since above is a floor made of coal. You can also see this ball in the fire tower for some reason, even though you can't see the steam above, and the floor isn't made of coal. In the anniversary room, there are these plus symbols which can be linked to the confetti cannons in the room. In Gamma's tower, if you use photomancy to clip out a little bit, you'll see a second doorway out in the distance. Is that door to heaven out in the void? I mean, I don't know. I am curious though to see if that door loads you anywhere if you go near it. Now as much as I would like to test that, I can't because we're very limited on what we have. Unless somebody can glitch their character to that location, we will probably likely never know. Now I did check out Golem Tower and found an invisible barrier that you can't exactly walk through because there's collision detection. I don't really know what it is. It could be a wild Kecleon or a freaking vampire. Who knows? Even taking its photo with a blinding flash isn't very effective. It's not part of the out of bounds thing, but I thought it was neat to point it out. In the headmaster's office where the player first has free will to do shit, if we were to zoom out on the left side of the room, you'll see a banner which doesn't actually have any reason or meaning to be there. If you go to the back of the office, you can see a small jar of slime the headmaster keeps in the dark void. Maybe somebody was going to put those objects in the room at one point and decided it didn't fit. I also took a look at the other areas in the city, such as Firecat Alley, and saw a big red pine cone suspended in the air for some reason. I know it's supposed to be a tree, but where's the rest of it? You'll notice when you take the camera outside of the game's player areas, a lot of the background objects are cut off. Level designers tend to do this to save not only space and make it lag a little bit less, but also to make loading times a bit faster. If this was a sandbox game where every area didn't have a loading zone, it would probably put heavy lag on your computer. Also, keep in mind this is a decade-old game. Anyway, I wanted to see if the big Cyclops in Cyclops Lane was fully modeled or not. For the most part, it is, except it's missing its feet. Now of course we gotta check the backside. And apparently he doesn't have any cheeks either. No feet, no cheeks. This ain't a muscle man, this is a lie. In Colossus Boulevard, where the large Shrek resides, you can't see his entire body normally. But with Photomancy, you can see him chomping away with rope tied to his arms. In Haunted Cave, I came across very briefly a shadowy figure, which I suspect is for bat effects in the area. I think that does it for this video. If we wanted to explore every world in the game, it would probably take us more than an hour or two. So for this video, I actually just wanted to make it about Wizard City, which is the first world of the game. If there are any new discoveries anybody finds, I'll be sure to include it in a new video. Also, if you're new, subscribing is just a click away. And if you want to see me play other games, visit my other channel called Froggies2. I do plan on streaming soon, but until then, take care and see you guys.